Always been the kid that always wanted to help out, so it's coming back to him, which is a blessing. So
He's one amazing kid. He really is. I mean, everybody that's ever met him will never forget him. He's just that way.
he was a shot put and discus thrower in high school. Missed states in his senior year by an inch.
He's quite the outdoors person. That's really the love of his life, I believe, is being outdoors.
25-year-old Regis Kleiss is a son to be proud of. An athlete, Eagle Scout, a friend magnet blessed with all-American good looks and charm. He was named for his maternal grandfather, a World War II veteran. Family is important to Regis, and he's close to his sister Kathy.
They have their times and they have their moments, but if one is hurt, the other one feels the pain, and they're like that a lot.
Yet at a time in his life when Regis should have the world on a string, he finds himself facing the unthinkable.
Well, I've been having symptoms since February of '08.
Reach was actually just diagnosed right around in the summertime with ALS. We noticed last year he was starting to walk on his toes, and he didn't have health insurance at the time, so he was hesitant to go to the doctor.
Finding out that Reach had ALS was just, it hurt. It hurt a lot, but attitude is everything.
ALS is a motor neuron disease. So the motor neurons are the cells in the brain and the spinal cord that send the signal to control movement. So those cells are the ones that send the signal in the brain and the spinal cord. They go down a long filament called an axon, which attaches to the muscle, and it tells the muscle to move. What happens in ALS is that those motor neurons, for an unknown reason, we don't know the cause, die. And so the signal that would normally be transmitted starting in the brain or spinal cord no longer gets to where it's going, which is the muscle, and so then the muscle, of course, doesn't do what the person's trying to tell them to do. So whether it's moving your leg or your foot or your hands, or even speaking and breathing, because obviously when we speak we use our tongue, it's a muscle, and the tongue stops being able to form the sounds in the mouth. And that's why it's a disease that causes almost in essence a form of paralysis where the person can no longer move or speak in the later stages.
You go through the emotions of hoping it's this, that, and the other thing, and we were praying that it wasn't MS, and then when we heard that it could possibly be ALS, it was like, okay, now we're praying for the MS again, because at least that's treatable.
It's not fair, but what is? I mean, that's just the way it is. So,
well, 25 is on the outside of the, if you want to say, bell curve of people who are diagnosed. So diagnosis generally comes between the ages of 40 and 65, really in the prime of life. Well, in terms of ALS, it's not a disease that's really common. There's probably only about 800 to 1,000 people in Michigan at any one time that has ALS, about 30,000 throughout the country. But what's interesting about ALS and what people may not know is that the frequency of diagnosis is as high as it is for multiple sclerosis. Unfortunately, our pals do not survive as long. So where somebody with MS may live up to 90, or the statistically 95% of a normal lifespan, the after diagnosis, the prognosis for someone with ALS is only 2 to 5 years.
Regis and his parents are at ALS of Michigan today checking out assistive communication equipment.
Don't communicate when I get worse. It wasn't that hard, really. Well, for me, I picked it up rather quick, but I can see where it would be harder for an older person.
We're sitting here talking to each other right now, and it seems so easy. When you can't speak, when you can't say to someone, will you scratch my nose? I'd like a glass of water. I love you. There's a tremendous isolation that comes with that, and that's why it's so important that people like Regis and our pals receive these services.
One thing that we found is you just can't let the disease control you. You just gotta go with the flow and try and make every day the best you can.
the humor side about it is key for Reg and I both.
Kind of tease him. I said, yeah, when you decide to get sick, it's got to be something, major. It can't be just something simple. It's got to be something big.
The one thing that Reg did, it was actually Halloween, he went out as Lou Gehrig. Friend of his had a vintage New York jersey with a number 4 in the back. He went out to dinner with friends, went to a Halloween party, and everything. He was in the restaurant. One man picked up on who he says, "Hey, number 4, that's Lou Gehrig." Lou Gehrig's the only one that ever wore a number 4 for the New York Yankees. And Reese goes, "You're right." Grabbed his walker, stood up, and the guy says, "You've got to be kidding." He says, "Nope, I have ALS." The guy says, "Really?" He says, "Yeah, I just wanted to take it to another extreme."
Right now, Regis can still drive his car, go out with friends, coach high school track, and continue as an adult Boy Scout leader for Troop 1707 and Venture Crew 1769.
Go online a lot. Going to physical therapy 3 days